This is Optimal Living Daily, episode 1765, Invest in Yourself, Rebuilding Your Routine, by Danae Smith of ThisWondrousLife.com. And I'm Justin Mullick, your very own personal narrator today and every day. So it's not a typical podcast, there are no interviews, and it's short, almost always fewer than 10 minutes. So with that, let's get right to today's post and start optimizing your life. Invest in Yourself, Rebuilding Your Routine, by Danae Smith of ThisWondrousLife.com. I'm currently reading The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. I've only read the introduction and the first few pages of the first section, but I'm captivated. It's content-rich and very, very scientific, but in summary, the book focuses on explaining how we can create new habits. It explores the science behind it, the why and how. I'm excited to dig into it over the next few months, but it has encouraged this post. Maybe last year you journeyed with me in building a rhythm and routine. I began this journey in 2017, but really leaned into this concept in 2018. As 2019 has begun, I do have a new perspective on rhythms and routines. For some understanding, a rhythm is the feel and flow of your daily life. And routine is the structure of intentional habits and investments that make room for what matters, helps you shift how you approach and experience each day, and ultimately feeds your soul. Maybe your rhythm is busy and feels hectic, like you're grasping for time and it constantly slips through your fingers. You're always going somewhere, doing something, and there feels like there isn't enough to go around, thus your routine doesn't even exist. Or maybe your rhythm is stagnant and feels empty. Your days seem to drag on with no movement or fulfillment, whether in pursuing your dreams, living intentionally, etc. So there's no motivation to even have a routine. I get that. I feel that. I've been there. Something I learned from being intentional with rhythms and routines last year is that I do have a say. Sure, there are so many things in the day-to-day we have no control over. We don't know what tomorrow brings, but I do have a say on how I approach my day, how I start and finish mentally and emotionally. I found that when I'm consistent with my daily routines, I experience each day with a more positive perspective. Were there hard days? Yes. Did I always choose best? No. But whenever I missed my routine because life happened, I could feel it. As for it changing, well, when I first got into it, I was convinced that whatever I set as my routine in January would be the same in December. No suspense here. I was wrong. It completely changed. The timing, the habits, and things I did. I remember going through the first quarter of last year and it was straightforward. Then work got extra busy and I watched my routine morph. It wasn't bad, it just looked different. So in this new year, I want to embrace that more. The truth is that your rhythm and routine are fluid, and that's fine, so long as the core of it remains consistent. Well, what's the core, Danae? I believe the core of a rhythm and routine is grounded in three main things. Number one, developing healthy and intentional habits. Number two, shifting how you see and experience the mundane. And number three, feeding your soul. These are three main pillars to lean on when thinking about a daily routine. Now, if you have a routine or never created one, here's what I want to share with you in redefining and rebuilding your routine. Number one, define the core of your rhythm and routine. How do you want to feel at the beginning and end of each day? How do you want your day-to-day to flow overall? Look back at the three pillars of a routine. What are some things you can do daily that feed positive habits, healthy perspective, and fill you up? Assess what and how you want to change your day-to-day. If it's busy, how can you slow down? If it feels stuck, what can you do to liven it up? If it is steady and consistent, what can grow more deeply and intently? If you work a traditional 9 to 5 like me, most of your day is decided for you. Even then, my goal rhythm for my day-to-day is slow, intentional, and present. I may not have control over what 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. looks like, but I do have say over the few hours before I get to work and the hours after. And for me, if those few hours in the morning and in the evening can move slowly, intentionally, and with me fully present, that's enough. Whichever it is, define what you desire the flow each day to be like for 2019. Number two, keep it simple. This was something I struggled with when I first got into having a daily routine. For most of 2018, I had way too many things that were a part of my routine. I'd also tied myself to a specific time frame that if I saw it coming up or passing, I'd rush to get the routine done. Do note that that is the absolute opposite of the purpose of a routine. As I brainstormed my routine for 2019, I simplified it. Before, it consisted of at least 4 to 5 things. Now, it consists of 2 to 3 core things that feed into my desired daily goal of living slow, intentionally, and present. Whatever habits or investments you structure your routine around, always keep it simple, doable, and flexible. Remember, the goal isn't to do a bunch of stuff or have a strict schedule. It's to invest in healthy and intentional habits, feed your soul, and shift how you approach each day. And number 3, carve out the time. This is important. It's great to have vision for what you want each day to feel like and to have a structure written out, but what about the time? Time is our most expensive commodity and the one we squander daily. Determine how much you want to commit to a daily routine and make room for it in your schedule. Like I said, we all live different lives with different commitments and responsibilities, so the length and structure of it all will look different. That's beautiful. Do what fits for your life. Put it in your calendar, set a reminder. Whatever you do, be intentional about making it an active part of your world. Because the daily routine matters so much to me, I start my day extra early and try to slow down my evenings as early as possible. Since I've been doing this a while, I've been able to gauge how long each routine takes, which helps in finding the pockets of time to commit to it. At the end of the day, my daily routines are flexible and simple enough that if they are shorter than normal, I don't feel cheated. And if they are longer than normal, I don't feel like I'm wasting time. Whatever your goal, dream, or intentions are for this year, I hope you find the joy in building a routine. Maybe it is something you've never considered or you've been discouraged in doing. Know that even if it is just one thing you do every morning and night to feed your soul, slow down and be present, do it. It counts. Start small and build from there. Know that as you build a routine and create new habits, you make room for what matters. You ultimately invest in your goal, dreams, and intentions. You just listened to the post titled, Invest in Yourself, Rebuilding Your Routine by Danae Smith of thiswondrouslife.com. I'll keep this short for the weekend. Thank you for listening and sticking around until the end. Have a great weekend if you're listening in real time. And I'll see you tomorrow as usual, where your optimal life awaits.